I always thought the pinnacle of being a wrestling fan was WrestleMania 30, like the live experience, but oh my God, Access really had a run for its money because Access was awesome. I went to Access only on Sunday. I know a lot of people go multi days, which is probably the best way to do it because there's a lot to do at Access and you can really only do it in a short time. Um, Point is, I went to Access and it was amazing. I only went on Sunday, which was a 6 hour session, but I got there right at 8 a.m. because I wanted to zoom right in and do as much as I possibly could. The first thing I did was I created my own entrance, which was absolutely awesome because I did the Daniel Bryan thing. I was on the stage and I was chanting yes. Everyone was chanting yes with me. So, it was pretty cool. Got my taste of being a wrestler for 5 seconds. And then I met a few wrestlers. I met AJ, I met Christian, the Usos, Bob Backlund, and X-Pac. So waiting in line for them was pretty much the majority of my day, and I don't say that with regret. I was fun meeting a lot of them. The first wrestler I did meet was AJ. It came down to AJ or Dean Ambrose, and I really, really wanted to meet Dean Ambrose, but his line was ridiculous the moment I got there. And the funny thing was, they had a WrestleMania app where it showed where everyone was going to be signing, and they said that Roman Reigns was going to be at the Sci-Fi booth, and everyone was in line at the Sci-Fi booth. But turns out they did a little plot twist on us. Roman Reigns was going to be signing with Dean Ambrose at his booth, at Dean Ambrose's booth, and Titus O'Neil was at the Sci-Fi booth, and then we just saw a wave of people just fly over to Dean. I felt kind of bad for Titus O'Neil because he must have thought like, oh my God, all these people are out there to meet me, and like half the line just left him to go meet Roman Reigns. So it kind of sucked for him, but it was pretty funny. Anyway, I met AJ Lee because I only had one poster, and there was an AJ Lee poster. So I'm like, it's the only really thing that, it would be stupid if I don't go and I don't have her sign it. So I went to meet AJ Lee. Most people in line were pretty cool with me. Stood there for I would say maybe 45 minutes. They had WrestleMania 28 playing in the background, so I was kind of using that as my time source. Like by the time I met AJ, like the Divas match was just starting to start from WrestleMania 28, so that happened maybe about 50 minutes in. So that's a good way to keep time. Anyway. I met AJ Lee, and before I met her, ridiculous expectations were set for me. People cried. Like one girl just broke down. Like she said hi to AJ and then just plummeted to the ground, just crying, just tears just pouring down her face. AJ Lee signed her poster and then she just could not move. She was in a vegetative state right then and there. So we all thought, okay, that's our key to talking to someone for a longer time, just crying right in front of them. One guy sang to her, and I mean, it wasn't in a creepy way. Like it was like for a joke, but it was still, way to outperform all of us. And then one guy made a picture for her and gave it to her, and it was her in a superhero outfit. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Apparently it had some metaphor behind it, but AJ kind of laughed it off and gave that, that little fake smile you give when someone gives you a gift you hate, and you're like, oh yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Yeah, no, I love it. It's great. She kind of gave her that, kind of gave him that look, and yeah, it was kind of weird. When I met AJ, I'm like, yeah, I really don't have anything for you. I'm just kind of here. Can you sign my poster, please? You're great. I love you. I think you're awesome. But yeah, I don't have anything for you. I can't do anything special. Anyway, AJ Lee was the first wrestler I ever met. So I guess you can check that off her bucket list, being someone's first. It sounded really bad. Let's move on. Anyway, the next wrestler I met was Christian. I was able to get him in the time frame because each wrestler signs for 2 hours, and then another wave of wrestlers comes in. Christian was, I barely met Christian. It was 9:59, and all the wrestlers who were signing then were done at 10 a.m. So Christian was done. He was totally ready to leave. So I just met him really quick, and I really didn't even talk to him that much. I just kind of got a picture with him and got his autograph. We did a 5-second pose. A lot of people didn't do that, so at least I was inventive in my own way, and I was at least remembered for something. I did a 5-second pose. I just didn't do a random picture with Christian. So that was cool. And then I met the Usos, and oh my God, their line took forever. I swear, it would not end. It took forever. And I was just like, dude, come on. Yeah. I mean, it was cool of them because they were actually talking to a lot of people. And another problem was that, wrestling podcasts would go and, to them to take interviews and all that, and even NXT guys, WWE sponsored interviews would happen during the autograph sessions, which would halt the entire thing, which would make us stay in line even more. So it was like, oh my God, I was afraid I wasn't going to meet them. I can't remember who showed up after them. I think maybe it was Hornswoggle and Ricardo Rodriguez. Point is, who would you rather meet, the Usos or Hornswoggle and Ricardo Rodriguez? Who would you rather meet? I don't know. Choice is yours. Point is, I did get to meet the Usos. They were really, really cool. They talked to me and all that. And I told Jimmy Uso that he's the best part of Total Divas. Thought that was funny. So I met them, got their autographs, and then got out of there. I really wanted to meet DDP and Trish Stratus because they were advertised to be there. But DDP wasn't there, so it was just Trish Stratus, and her line was ridiculous. So I decided to meet X-Pac and Bob Backlund. I met Bob Backlund, and if you can imagine, I'm sure most of you can, he's the craziest SOB I've ever met in my entire life. He was absolutely insane. He's like, he seemed pretty chill in the beginning. I was like, hey, you're great, love you, man, you're awesome. Sign this and all that. He signed, and then he signed Bob Backlund, PMA, and then he grabbed me by my shoulders and looked right into my eyes, and he was like, PMA, positive mental attitude. You go to bed with it, you live with it, you'll live better, you'll sleep better, your life will be better. Positive mental attitude. And then he grabbed me by my head, put me in a headlock for the picture, and he just shouted stuff in my ear before they took the picture. I don't know, he was insane. And then I met X-Pac, and X-Pac again was really, really chill, really, really cool. I told him, how much I like him, man, you're awesome, stuff like that. The typical wrestling fan stuff. And I told him I loved how he cut off Michael Hayes' mullet on the plane ride from hell, and he thought that was funny. He said, a lot of guys wanted to do it, but he was the only one with the balls to do it and stuff like that. And he kind of told me stuff from Plane Ride from Hell. And, it was a lot of fun. And then I went to Undertaker's Graveyard, that little thing they have set up, and that was really cool too. They have tombstones for all of the wrestlers he beat at WrestleMania, and they have also other cool memorabilia things like Goldust's casket, and they had that little capsule chair thing they had when at the Great American Bash when he put Paul Heyman in the cement. Not Paul Heyman, Paul Bearer in the cement. They had that too, and that was pretty cool. And they had a big burial site for Brock Lesnar, and little did we know that was not going to happen. But I'll get to that in a second. So, Undertaker's Graveyard was a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. And then another cool thing was NXT. I didn't see any matches up close and personal because I was waiting in line, but I did see a Q&A with Bad News Barrett, and it was just cool seeing someone just so up close. I got really, really close, and it was really, really cool to see that just because, of how close you can get. It was a lot of fun. So Axxess was totally, totally worth every single penny. If you ever are considering going to Axxess, totally take it. I know it might be a little pricey. I got general admission, and it was probably $50. I know VIP is maybe $100. And the VIPs there were Bruno Sammartino, Rey Mysterio, and Shawn Michaels. Totally, totally worth meeting. I was trying to get a picture of Shawn Michaels just from the sidelines, just kind of sneaking up around the line and trying to take a picture of him. But man, he was guarded, so couldn't get that. But oh well. And then I wanted to meet Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, but their line was ridiculous, so I decided not to. And they also have a superstore there, which is basically WWEshop.com in person. I really wanted to buy a Daniel Bryan Yes hoodie, but they had XXX and small. So I don't think that's going to fit me too well. Anyway, that was Axxess. Axxess was absolutely awesome. If you ever are considering going to Axxess, just in my opinion, it might be even more worth it than WrestleMania. I went there on Sunday, and I was totally awestruck by Axxess that I just remember thinking oh my god, WrestleMania is tonight? I totally forgot about WrestleMania because I was just so enthralled by Axxess. But yeah, it's totally awesome, totally worth every single penny.